Well, I'm going to play it for you now. I was on Fox News earlier today talking about Charlie Kirk in the 1 o'clock hour with Sandra Smith. Let's play that cut number one.
Hugh Hewitt is host of the Hugh Hewitt Show and a Fox News contributor. It will be a big afternoon, as we all remember. Charlie Kirk, gone just 1 month now, Hugh. But even though he is coming fresh off, President Trump, fresh off this whirlwind Middle East trip, he is putting the importance on being here to mark this moment.
I applaud that, by the way. I think it is remarkable that the president would fly 37 hours straight to get back from a peace summit and the visit to the Knesset yesterday in order to honor his friend Charlie. The president has energy unlike anyone I've ever followed in the public square, and so I'm not surprised that he's doing that. But they were very close, and I'm very glad he's doing that. I'm going to carry this live on my show as soon as the award ceremony begins around 4. If it's a typical President Trump ceremony, it will start a little bit late and go a little bit long, but I'll carry it all because Charlie was a colleague of mine on Salem. He was a friend of mine and a colleague since he was 19 years old, and I am interested in seeing how he is honored nationally. I've been very distressed by the need of some people, especially on the progressive left, to try and diminish everything that Charlie accomplished. So I'm glad that all of the country will be watching when President Trump awards Erica the Medal of Freedom posthumously to Charlie, because it's much deserved.
You know, Hugh, his legacy has no doubt fueled explosive growth in the student movement. We've seen that with the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of applications for chapters at all these universities all over the country. This is a New York Times op-ed talking about the youth movement and why they were so attracted to Charlie Kirk's message, why so many Gen Zers are drawn to conservative Christianity. The headline reads, Gen Z is clouded by despair. It's not hard to imagine how young people traumatized by the isolation imposed by COVID and disillusioned by the perceived emptiness of secular liberalism might be drawn to a relationship with God and a purpose in life. Many were attracted by Mr. Kirk's message of confidence and joyfulness in his conservative Christian faith. There is no doubt, Hugh, in his short time on Earth, 32 years old he would have been today, that he was giving hope to so many young people who so desperately needed it at this time in their life.
Well, I applaud the New York Times for getting something right about Charlie, so hooray for them. People were attracted to Charlie because he had energy and he spoke truth. And he wasn't always perfect. None of us are. We all make mistakes. And anyone can go through AI and try and make Charlie into something that he wasn't. But anyone who followed his career, who listened to his podcast, his radio show, saw him at a Turning Point rally, saw him with President Trump or any of the Trump family, saw him anywhere in the country, would realize he had great energy, great love of the country, an extraordinary patriot. Yes, he's an evangelical Christian, but he did not exclude anyone from his rallies. He welcomed everyone to come, believer, non-believer, believer in any other faith system. He'd answer any question, debate any topic. Sometimes he would make a verbal misstep. He would correct himself, as we all do who are on the air. Sandra, I'm sure you know that. And everything about Charlie was winsome. He was very, very winsome. So I'm glad to see people pointing to his Christian faith. That is a huge driver of his crowds and of his reach. But a lot of people in Turning Point USA are of Jewish, Muslim, no faith at all. They're there because they like freedom. And Charlie was a freedom guy first. That includes freedom of religion and freedom of speech and freedom of assembly and freedom to petition the government. He was a freedom guy. I first met him when he was 19 years old, talking to groups of 20 and 25-year-old number of high school students. And so it would not be at all not in keeping with the Medal of Freedom to go and honor him. Among the people who have been honored in the past, very disparate people, Martin Luther King, Hyman Rickover, a man of peace, a man of war. Martin Luther King assassinated, but he preached the content of our character, not the color of our skin. Charlie was very much in the same way, but also for a strong national defense. Very appropriate that he end up on that very distinguished list of Americans, thanks to President Trump.
And you've heard President Trump talk so many times now about his great friendship with him. And when he was first introduced to Charlie, because his son wanted to meet him, and he said at the tail end of one of those interviews recently in the wake of Kirk's death, I don't know what it was, but Charlie had a magic over the kids, right? I mean, he was able to talk to kids in a different way than most adults could, and just gone too soon. We remember him, and it'll be a big day at the White House to remember Charlie Kirk. Hugh, thank you very much for joining us.
I really enjoyed being with Sandra today. Setting up the rally, we'll carry it live on the Salem News Channel on most of these stations as well. Don't miss that.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.